Happy Saturday, everybody. Thanks for joining us. ABC 10 meteorologist Brenden Mincheff here with a look at a very active forecast for the first weekend in May. We've got rain, snow, and wind, to say nothing of the colder temperatures for the first weekend of May. A time many of us typically consider to be warmer and drier. You would kind of expect it to be. The average high for the time of year in those upper 70s. It is anything but warm and dry today. So valley rain and wind, we'll start with the headlines. Valley rain and wind today, and then that snow in the Sierra. It's going to be heavy at times, windy as well. So similar conditions both in the valley and the Sierra today, where no matter where you are, it is going to be soggy and breezy. But there are warmer days ahead. That's the good news, and we'll talk about that at the end of the video here. Through the daytime today, started off in those mid-50s. We'll drop into the low 50s during the early afternoon hours right after the cold front comes on through, and we're going to climb back into those mid-50s by the end of the day. So I've got us topping out about 56 degrees both once in the morning and then again in the early to mid-evening hours, and that's when we start to dry out in the valley as well. It won't be dry per se. I don't expect for any real long period of time on Saturday. Tomorrow's a different story, but today it's just going to be kind of soggy across the region. Rainy and windy. Again, that average high 78 degrees. We're in those mid-50s for a high temperature this afternoon. It says mid-40s up in the high country, but it will cool off once that cold front goes on through and the snow starts to fall. So it can be a little deceptive there. It will be colder up there this afternoon. Let's jump into radar and satellite now. Start talking about the nitty-gritty here. Rain already overspreading the valley as of about 8 o'clock this morning. And this is going to be heavy at times, especially as we get towards about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning and potentially into the early afternoon hours as well. It's part of this storm that we've been tracking for the last few days as it developed in the Gulf of Alaska and then just basically rode the coast all the way down. Now off the coast of Oregon, it's going to swing across Northern California before continuing on into the Intermountain West, but it is going to bring us rain, snow, wind, colder temperatures, but it is quick hitting. That'll only be for Saturday. Sunday is a better day. Zooming in a little closer to home so we can really start to make out the detail there. You can see the yellows and the oranges, especially up near Yuba City, Grass Valley, Nevada City, going to be seeing some heavy rain, but you can also see some of these bands starting to come off the coastal range. That's going to be some pretty heavy rain as well, and that's just in front of the cold front. So that cold front sitting just behind it, that's why that's going to be some of that heaviest rain. It's got some of the most kick behind it. It'll also be windy as that front comes through. Let's look at the wind. We'll start with this, and then we'll show Futurecast for the rain. So there's that cold front in the coastal range. That's going to scoot on in as we go through the morning hours. That's when that southerly wind really starts to pick up across the valley. We're going to see gusts upwards of 25, 30 miles per hour in the valley. That cold front's going to come through the valley. Winds drop a little bit, but it will remain breezy for the rest of the day. Look at the winds in the Sierra, though. As that front starts to push into the higher elevations, we're going to see wind gusts 25 plus in the foothills, 45 plus across South Lake Tahoe, parts of Truckee, and anywhere in purple here is shaded to be 50 miles per hour or greater. So it's going to be windy up in the Sierra today as that front pushes through. Behind the front, again, going to stay breezy even through the evening hours in the valley, but winds do die down once we get to the overnight, and tomorrow won't be nearly as breezy. There is a wind advisory for the central and northern Sacramento Valley. Only continues until Saturday at 11 a.m., so just a few more hours from the recording of this video. That's that southerly wind, sustained 20 to 30 miles an hour, wind gusts up to about 50 miles per hour, and I did see a wind gust of 40 miles per hour in Oroville early this morning before sunrise. So definitely that's where it's windiest, but all across the valley we are going to see wind pretty much all day long today. Here's Futurecast with the rain and snow now, and it starts off mostly as rain, even in the coastal range. Heaviest stuff really about 10 o'clock or so, give or take about an hour or two. And again, that's going to be right in front of that front. So the heaviest rain ahead of the cold front as it pushes across the valley. Notice the snow. We're going to be at and above pass level to start, so not much snow in the morning hours. It's going to take a minute for that cold air, which is on this side of the cold front, to get into the Sierra. So we've got slightly warmer air ahead of it. That moisture is typically a little warmer as well. But once we see that frontal passage happen in the valley and that cold air starts to trickle up into the high country, that's when we're going to see that snow really start to pick up. So in the afternoon, mid to late afternoons when that snow is really going to start, and it's going to start coming down pretty quick. It'll be just rain, then it'll start to transition to snow, and then that snow level is going to go from pass level down to about 4,500, 5,000 feet this afternoon, and it could come down at an inch or two per hour. So that snow is going to stick on the roads. Even though we've seen warm temps recently, the last several days, we've seen highs up there in the 50s and 60s. That it does not going to matter because this is a cold storm with a lot of snow that will fall out of it. So it will stick to the roads. We'll talk more about that in a second. But I do want to return to the valley before we wrap up this Futurecast, because it will get more scattered. It will get more light in the valley for Saturday afternoon. But I don't really see a nice window here where I can confidently say you can definitely go outside and do whatever it is you want to do. It is going to be soggy. Even if we get a little bit of sunshine through the afternoon hours, it's going to be soggy because of the rain that we saw. Fields will be wet, fields will be somewhat muddy, and you can still see we've got those scattered showers in the valley in the afternoon. So even though it won't be as heavy as what we see in the morning hours, it's still just not going to be great weather for getting out and doing things. And look at that snow. Most of the rain in the Sierra then transitions to snow through the afternoon. Going into the evening and overnight hours, by the time we get to about 8, 9 o'clock tonight, then we're going to see mostly dry conditions across the valley. But snow showers will continue through the overnight and towards tomorrow as well. Certainly through Sunday morning, we'll continue to see some snow showers up in the Sierra. It'll be light, though, once we get to tomorrow. Tomorrow does look dry in the valley, looks mostly sunny. It will be warmer, but not warm for the time of year. But again, still going to see some lingering snow up in the Sierra tomorrow. So winter storm warning kicks in at 11 a.m. on Saturday, runs until 8 a.m. on Sunday, looking at 2 to 6 inches of snow above 4,000 feet. 6 to 15 inches of snow above 5,000 feet, and then 1 to 2 feet of snow on the high peaks and passes. So if you are going up there, bring the chains. Be ready for winter weather, for snow-covered roads, for slick roads. I know it is May, but just because it is May doesn't mean this storm will not bring a winter impact with it. It will. As you can see here, that winter storm warning, the impacts listed there, you saw it on Futurecast, plus the wind will make for some blowing snow and reduced visibility conditions. So you got to take it seriously. It's not typical for this time of year per se. This is a storm you'd more likely see, obviously, in December, January, February, March, but it can happen in May. It is happening right now. If you're going up there, please take the proper precautions. Don't just downplay it because of what the calendar says. This is a true winter storm with true winter storm impacts on it. I can't stress that enough. Here are some model snowfall totals. This is the European model. Maybe overdoing some of the highest peaks. It's showing like 21 inches Donner, 19 inches at Kirkwood. Possible. I'd say it's on the high end of the forecast. But again, that winter storm warning is calling for 1 to 2 feet of snow on the high peaks. That is within that 1 to 2 foot range. This is a realistic model solution. Now, some of the low elevation snow, no, we're not going to likely see an inch of snow in Nevada City or 2 inches in Forest Hill. But certainly, once you get up to the higher elevations, that is a more realistic model solution. In the valley, we're going to be looking at a ½ inch of rain to an inch of rain with this storm. Most of it will fall before about 2 p.m. on Saturday, but we'll still see some lingering showers Saturday afternoon. Again, Sunday looks dry, but storm total rainfall likely to be within the ½ inch to 1 inch range. Higher for areas, I would say, east of Interstate 5, especially as you work your way into the foothills, then you're going to see totals greater than 1 inch of rain. Now, how does this stack up with our water that we've already seen? Well, snowpack obviously has been melting off. It's been warm up there. Peak snowpack April 1st, so we don't expect that we would still see terrific numbers here, but their numbers aren't bad. Northern Sierra especially, average to date, still 111%. Percent of April 1st, average 77%. Central Sierra, average to date, 89%. And that percent of April 1st, 66%. Southern Sierra, 83% average to date, 58% of April 1st. And then as we look statewide, that would be 93% average to date. So actually, we're still pretty much where we should be statewide to this time of the year. That percent of April 1st average is 67%. And I will remind you, most locations, north and central especially, were right at about 100% of April 1st average at the start of April. So we had a very average snow season. So these numbers are going down. We're going to add a little bit, but obviously we're not going to rebound all that much. I will say the reservoir picture is quite impressive. We are nearly full at Oroville and Shasta. Shasta 96% capacity, Oroville 99% capacity. There was a post that went out about Oroville being so full. And if we get a windy day like today, you may see some water kind of splashing down, maybe the emergency spillway. It's not that we're using that spillway, it's just that the water's kind of being blown out of the reservoir. But again, when you're at 99% capacity, this is what happens. Trinity, 85% capacity, so much better than this time last year for Trinity. Folsom, 88% capacity. And you look at these average to date numbers here, they're all well above 100%. Going a little further south, New Maloney's 86% capacity, 138% of average. Don Pedro, 87% capacity, 113% of average. Millerton, 99% as well, 138% of average. So these numbers are right where we want them to be. We are full in the reservoirs. We've got a healthy snowpack still sitting up there, and it is raining and snowing to start the month of May. It is a quick hitting system, though. It's going to come in and come right out, all within the span of about 24 hours. So 56 for a high today. Rain, snow, wind, cold temperatures. Tomorrow, mostly sunny in the valley, lingering snow showers in the Sierra. Valley temps in those middle 60s. So we'll be about 10 degrees warmer tomorrow than what we are today. 70 on Monday, sunshine returns to start the work week. 74 Tuesday, 80 on Wednesday. So you see we're kind of stair-stepping warmer and warmer. And then by the end of the work week and start of next weekend, we could have our warmest days so far this year. Warmest we've been 89 downtown Sacramento. I do have a forecast of 90 degrees. Some of the models are showing warmer than that. This is kind of right in the middle there. So Friday, Saturday, both, one or both, could be the warmest days we've had so far this year. Mother's Day, 86 degrees. Plenty of sunshine after this storm. It really is just kind of a one-and-done storm here. It's going to bring us this cold, soggy Saturday, and then we're right back in towards more seasonal conditions. I do want to say ABC 10 Plus, we have got a weather playlist there. You can get in-depth forecasts like this, weather explainers, weather specials, and we just released our new weather special, 20 minutes long, called The Future of California's Water. It is on ABC 10 Plus, also on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. As always, thanks for watching the weather team here at ABC 10. If you like what you see, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.